Okay, ladies, we're gonna tackle those eyebrows. Another scary thing for people. The reason we want to fill in our eyebrows and shape them a little bit is because they actually, when they get thinner, and they do thin with age, they make us look older. So we don't need to have these big hairy caterpillars on our faces, but we do need to have a nice, natural looking, thicker, filled in eyebrow to kind of make us look younger and kind of completes the look of our whole face. It's amazing what a difference an eyebrow makes. So I'm going to show you something that Younique has to help out with this. You can still find similar products. Of course, I think this is best. I love and use this every day. It's my brow pencil. We also have an eyebrow palette that's a little bit more advanced and still gives you great results, but this is my everyday. The other thing I do use is I use my eye primer on my brow because it's going to keep that makeup there and that eyebrow still. So even if you wipe it, it ain't gonna go nowhere, okay? So basically I'm gonna use this little end here. It's called a spoolie. If you guys never knew what that was called, it's called a spoolie. And I'm going to naturally comb up my lashes. Sorry, not lashes, I'm so used to saying that, my brows. Now, depending on the style face you have, if you're rounded, if you're heart-shaped, you know, it's gonna could affect how you do your eyebrows. You do want to follow basically your natural shape though. And how do you find that? What happens if you have no clue what your shape is? So here's an easy trick. Take your brow pencil or an eyeliner, whatever you might use. You're going to put it right against the tip of your nose and you're going to come down. That's where the beginning part of your eyebrow should be. Should place about there. To find the arch, I don't really have one. I kind of have one of those nice, well, it's not nice, it's okay, but I have one of those curved. I don't have kind of like that arch and then comes down, but I do create a little bit of one using this. Again, use your pencil, whatever you're using, and go to the middle of your eye, okay, against the brow of that nose, the middle of your eye. That should be about where the height or the point of your brow should be. And then knowing where your end of your brow should be, again, you're using your nose and then going all the way out. I have my lashes on, so I'm trying not to make my lashes all a mess. From the tip of your nose, and then you're going to go to the corner of your eye. That's about where your brow should end, okay? So using that really easy guide of the side of your nose, and you go from straight up, middle, and then out to the corner of your eye and outward, that's how it should go. So this is our brow pencil. We do have it in light, medium, and dark. I use the medium. My hair's a little bit lighter. You can see this is my natural hair color because I have pretty bad roots. But you're going to want to match your natural eye color. You could go a little bit lighter if you wanted to, but you don't want to go too much darker because that's going to make them pop. But you want to go by what your root color is. So ladies, if you have blonde hair that's colored, go by your root colors. Even if you have blonde hair, you can go a little bit darker. You can do a medium and not a light. So I'm pretty used to doing my lashes. I add a little bit of height to them, and I don't want them so thin. And I've learned to kind of do this freehand. I used to use the placement all the time with the brow pencil, or the line, the middle of the corner and the end of my eye here to know where my placement is, but I don't need to do that so much anymore. I'm going to drag that line a little bit. You could see that I need to extend my eyebrow a little bit further than where it is. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of height. The nice thing about this particular pencil, the tip of it is so fine, it's going to mimic the look of your natural lashes. I like to use short little strokes. You're not coloring in, but create a look of natural hair. Okay, you already see the difference just in a little bit of adding some height and depth to it. But use these short little strokes. That's going to mimic your natural hairs. And that's what's great about this brush, is that the tip of it is so small. You're going to have a really easy time mimicking those hairs. Okay, look at the difference. The difference. It's amazing. It's all makeup is. It's messing around with your eyes. It's awesome. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here. Now, here's the thing with eyes, and particularly eyebrows. Our faces are not symmetrical, okay? You're going to have a little bit of variation in the shape and the look of your eyebrow. General rule is, okay, We don't want long lost cousins, but sisters, not twins, sisters, but not long lost cousins. So you want to try to create a similar look, but don't freak out if your one eye looks a little bit different, because guess what? It is naturally. So we want a relation there. Again, I'm going to draw it out a little bit. We want a relation there. Doesn't have to be perfectly matched. And you might have to go back and forth. There's times I do my one eye and I'm like, I need to fill in this spot a little bit more to make it match. And it happens, and it's not a problem. So again, just mimicking, I create a little bit more height, come down a little bit there to create a little bit of that arch. Now what you can do with the spoolie end of it, after you put your product in, you can take your spoolie and just kind of lightly go through, and it kind of softens up the look of that brow. If you've had to put a lot in, it doesn't really remove it, but it just softens it up. You can do that at the end. It's going to make it look a little bit more natural. Okay? So there we go. I'm going to bring this one down just a little bit more. You also don't want to make any expressions. You don't want to be doing this really while you are doing your brows. So again, I got a little bit, I want to bring a little bit closer. There we go. Okay, it makes a huge difference, ladies. It totally does. I never realized how important brows were until I started filling mine in and being more comfortable with it, and you guys will too, I promise. So if you need a little bit of guidance, do that inner corner, middle, outer corner for placement, and then use a really great brow pencil like this one to apply and fill in those brows and shape them up a little bit. You're gonna thank me. Have fun.